Hello, everyone, and welcome to Beach Cat Cinema Corner. All right, okay. I think my light just went out up there. Hope you guys can see me. Can you see me? Hello, hi. Okay, guys, welcome once again to our great podcast here show about we do movie reviews. Today, I have a review is on the movie that I was kind of a little behind, but eventually I caught up with it, and now I'm here to review it. And the name of the movie is Fantastic Four: First Steps. Okay, wow. Well, let me just say that interesting movie. It was okay. I thought a lot of the lagging of it was just seemed like there's a lot of questions once again that I have when it comes to sometimes with these movies is one in particularly. It's like okay, I hope many of you guys have seen it. If you haven't seen it yet, I'm sorry. But here's the spoiler, and you guys should have taken long enough now to should be have seen the movie. And here we go, and here it is. In the beginning, it says Earth 828. Okay, are we doing the same thing? Now, if many of you guys ever watched the Flash on the CW, that they had different the universe, two types of universe that were where the Flash and but just the Flash in even though I think it was also in the Flash the movie that was Ezra Miller was in that they had like a whole different type of parallel universes of different Earths, right? Now I saw that when I first was like, huh, are they piggybacking in the same thing with DC about this whole like this different parallel universes of Earth? Guys, you can help me out with that. Please chime in and when your comments down there below. But I found that it was kind of interesting how they were going on with that. Secondly, I was like, it's like the the baby, Franklin Richards. Um, maybe I'm kind of a little behind on the comic books. I don't know. I mean, he apparently he does have some kind of special powers. Um, when turning at going towards at the end when Susan um, Storm was using her powers, her forces against Galactus, and apparently she used it all up so much where like she died. But then the baby, Franklin Richards, was he was placed by he Reed Richards placed the baby on top of Susan Storm, and then all of a sudden, the baby was crying, and then all of a sudden, like he stopped, and he was just like, he had a smile on his face, but he had his little hands, which was just adorable, by the way, like right on Susan Smith's by her clavicle or by her or right by her neck, and then all of a sudden, yeah, you see there's a scene where her Susan's fingers start to move. So basically, so I guess I'll say, oh wow, so Franklin does have some powers, which they were kind of leery about Reed and Susan. Well, I think more Reed than it was Susan. But yeah. Other than that, I mean, it just seemed like I'm not gonna lie. When I went into to see this movie, I thought it was going to be based back on in the '60s version of Fantastic Four, which the outfits which did look similar, like the ones back in '60s in the comic books. So the I was impressed with that. The outfits look amazing. But again, like now, I mean, then you have which they have their own car, the Fantastic Four car, which can hover and fly over. But I didn't realize that like the cops in the city also has a hovering flying cars as well. I was like, oh, okay, interesting in that one, in that perspective. But again, guys, we're looking at Earth 828, so this is a whole new different kind of multiverse of doing with the Fantastic Four, and I guess in the '60s. I don't know. I'll sum this up here and what I'm tying up, what I'm getting at with that. Uh, so the like overall is that I like how they kind of fast forwarded to now they're already heroes and how they were out saving people and whatnot and now I must say that I did like Galactus how he looked. He looked pretty cool, man. He was yeah he was pretty neat. How they designed him almost just similar, just like in the comic books. But you know, it almost seemed, but the movie part almost seemed I guess it probably ties in with the comic books, and I know in the other Fantastic Four that was back in 2004 2005, one with Michael Chiklis, Chris Evans, that was his first role playing a Marvel character, Jessica Alba, and Ian, I forgot his last name. He was. But basically what I'm trying to say is that the he had NORAD that was it was in that one, and I mean it I'm not saying it is like, oh well, there's a male and a woman and then the woman's trying to take over, trying to be I'm not trying to get into all that. It was just that everybody was more familiar with Silver Surfer than with Silver Surfer's wife. That's what I know. Maybe they're trying to approach trying to take it to the next. The pace was good. The movie pace was really good. Reed Richards, played by Pedro Pascal. I will say that not to take anything away. I think he's a phenomenal. I think he's a great actor. But me personally, I think they could have done somebody better than Pedro Pascal. He didn't feel. I didn't feel that Reed Richards kind of vibe with him. You know. It just seemed like he was just. He didn't feel like he was an in charge kind of guy. You know, Reed Richards has always been like, yeah, the one like, it's just just a go getter. You know, but he did kind of play the role of the brain of being a nerd. You know, like and calculating this and that and all stuff. That part was actually was definitely Reed Richards. But and another one that kind of I was really kind of. I don't say disappointed, but I was kind of finding why they didn't do what I think they should have do was Ben Grimm thing with his voice. I don't know. Many of you once again have seen like all from the cartoons to the older Fantastic Four that came out again with Michael Chiklis, and we'll just go with Michael Chiklis right there, and how that his voice was a bit more rough, right? Because he's supposed to talk like this because he's a big rock, right? And to me, I thought that would have been more, more enjoyable. I think because you're thinking of him, and then you hear him talking normally. He's like like this big rock talking like, oh yeah, just give me that oregano sauce right by that cabinet right there, and I'm like, oh. Okay. Yeah, sure. Here's your oregano thing. But that's my little nitpick about that. The voice. I think the voice could have been a little bit deeper because we hear that with Hulk, Incredible Hulk, and how until the exception of Endgame, which having he was kind of tossed between Banner and Hulk, and he ended up having more Banner's voice, which. That's in a discussion of another time, and that was, to me, I was a disappointment in that. But anyway, so the whole outcome, I think that of this movie was Kevin Feige was the producer of this movie, and I think this movie, Fantastic Four, tried really tried really hard to. Bring Marvel back into the good graces. To me, I don't think it did. I truly there was just like I was saying, there's just a couple of things that I think that Feige should have done in ways that let's say make it make sense, right? And you hear most of you guys ever heard that expression. So But I think it could have been better. I didn't leave the the theater house hating on it. But I mean, I just had it was just like I was saying, just a couple of questions and some of the as I can try to remember from the movie. I didn't fall, like I said, I didn't fall asleep in the movie. So yeah, that's what I was about to say. So, but guys, I want to know. Let me know what you think. What you talking about? Did you like the movie? Was it you think that it was worth seeing in the theaters? Um, but now, oh, another thing I forgot to bring up was well at the end credits, right in the mid credits, right when it's 4 years. They said 4 years later, and then now Franklin's a little grown up. He's probably like 4 years old, 3 or 4 years old, maybe something like that. Um, and his book's being read with his mom. They're sitting on the couch. So then and then then I forgot the robot Herbie. He was actually kind of cool. I kind of dug him a little bit. But when Susan got up and she was looking for this book that she wanted to read to Franklin, then all of a sudden she senses this feeling, and then sensation, because where it was pillar, there's like a pillar, and I think it must be like a chimney or something like that. I'm trying to remember. And she couldn't see who was on the other side because Franklin was not visible. So she was getting ready to she slowly walks over to the area where Franklin's, and then she sees Franklin talking to this guy in the hood, a green hood with a silver mask in his hand. Ladies and gentlemen, yeah, that's going to be an introduction to Doctor Doom. Doctor Doom. Wow. Which that's going to be interesting. I heard rumors that Robert Downey Jr. was supposed to might be playing Doctor Doom, and but I know unfortunately Julian McMahon wouldn't be able to replay his role. He has passed on. Rest in peace, Julian. Yeah, it was sad to hear about his passing, but yeah, the I think that and because they're trying to pump this up for the next one called Avengers Doomsday. Now that's going to tie in with the new Spider-Man movie coming out. What was it? That's the only thing I can think of with the new Spider-Man. I think there's something else supposed to be in connection, going on with the whole Doomsday movie. But I guess we shall see, guys. We shall see. But now, I mean, if any of you guys love this movie, that's great. No, don't get me wrong. Hey, I'm glad that you liked the movie. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad you think that it was probably one of the greatest things that Foggy's ever produced out of Marvel thus far. And that's fine. That's great. Yeah, nobody. There's no judgment here. Okay, I mean, there's no judgment, and I really expect everybody to be respectful of other people's comments that that if they liked it or didn't like it, or not. So. But yeah, I just think that it just could have been a way, it could have went around a different way, a little bit better, a little bit more crispier, a little more, and a little bit more, I don't know, comic book ways, With that, you guys, I have nothing else to talk about, but I want to thank you guys for listening, and I thank you guys so much for watching this video. And until then, guys, take care of yourselves, and I will catch you on the next review. Take care now.
Hey, you scared me there, Smokey. Look at you. You're cute. Yeah, that's right. Keep running, boo-boo. Overgrown furball.